Has this already been communicated to the one in hiding, or do you wish to verbalize it out loud?
It's already been communicated.
And is this hidden communication acceptable to the one in hiding?
Yes.
Does this mean that guilt and self-punishment can now be released?
Yes.
Thank you. You genuinely are a part with heart. Do you have anything you wish to say to Tom or Thomas? Do you wish to communicate that verbally, or has that already been communicated internally?
I know that we're blaming it as well.
I would like to give Tom an opportunity to respond to Heart. Tom, what do you have to say to Heart?
I didn't realize that.
Heart has already communicated with you what was important to be realized.
I was blaming the part in the wrong. Blaming other parts.
Do you accept all of the parts of Thomas?
Yes.
Is there anything else you would like to say, either to Thomas or to Heart or the one in hiding?
It's not hiding anymore.
Oh, that is wonderful. Is there anything that that part that used to be in hiding wishes to say to you or to Thomas or to Heart or to me?
We can all pull together.
That's beautiful. Does this mean that all parts have reached terms of agreement?
Yes.
And it's not necessary for me to know exactly what this agreement is.
I know.
Does the conscious mind of Thomas know what this agreement is now?
No.
Do all of the parts know what the agreement is, and do all parts accept the terms of agreement unanimously?
All hugging each other.
Oh, that's beautiful. They're all hugging each other. That's beautiful. Just allow yourself to be totally filled with the spirit of love, inner harmony, inner peace, mind, body, and spirit, in harmonic unity. Is there anything that any of the parts wishes to communicate to the conscious mind that will be a new response to the old trigger of finger biting?
It has already done that.
This has already been communicated to the conscious mind.
Yes.
And then are all parts, as well as the conscious mind, accepting of the resolution? And has the relearning taken place,
Yes.
consciously and subconsciously?
Yes.
Excellent. Then allow all parts to integrate into a harmonious whole. And when the integration is complete, either move the yes finger or allow one of your hands to raise up. Very good. While remaining in your peaceful place, imagine your ideal resolution. Imagine be the person you choose to be. Free to enjoy the results of what was released and relearned at a subconscious level, as well as at a conscious level. Allow yourself to give yourself an affirmation to help you attain your ideal self-empowerment in a way that helps you reach your best and highest good, to be the person you choose to be. And that affirmation can become an auto-suggestion or self-hypnotic suggestion that you give yourself either mentally or verbally by verbalizing it. And when it is so, move the yes finger. Very good. Is there any additional work to be done at this time? Very good. Then I'm going to give you a moment of silence to allow all of the suggestions that have been processed internally to become totally accepted at all levels of consciousness. And when you again hear the sound of my voice, it'll be time to come back to conscious awareness. In a moment, I'm going to start counting from 1 to 5. And as I do, you can slowly, gradually, gently return to full conscious awareness, remembering everything that your inner mind wishes you to remember, especially the best resolution. Beginning with number 1, slowly, gently, gradually becoming aware of the room in the here and now. Number 2, realizing that you are a new you with greater integration, internal harmony, and resolution accepted by all parties, with a greater sense of awareness on number 3, energy beginning to flow from head to toe. Just beginning to realize that whenever you get behind the wheel of a vehicle, you are totally alert and responsive to any and all traffic and road conditions. And you can feel good on number 4, energy flowing from head to toes. You begin to stretch those muscles a little bit and just feel wonderful and alive on 5. Time to come back. That was fun, wasn't it?
Wow.
Thank you for volunteering for what ended up to be a very profound session.
Yes.
That was very similar to a case involving a different goal years ago, where I was working with a realtor who had a part that was in hiding, and it took me 3 60-minute sessions to finally get that part to trust enough, and we were able to get there in about 1/7 the time it took the first time I encountered a similar situation.
A lot of work done beforehand.
Yes, that's obvious. But also, you processed a lot internally without ever communicating that to me verbally. And
I'm so warm again.
In the way of client-centered hypnotherapy, did you notice that it wasn't necessary for me to ask him to verbalize what that resolution was, but it was very important to him for me to get confirmation that the subconscious had resolved it and that all parts were in agreement. This is a client-centered approach. Generally, you will know what the resolution is. 9 times out of 10, your client's going to tell you what the resolution is. In this case, he didn't. I didn't press it. I believe in adapting to fit the client's needs. And it doesn't matter why he didn't want to verbalize it out loud, but in going with the flow and dealing with what emerged, we probably accomplished a lot more in 10 minutes than we might have in an hour if I'd have obsessed with having him verbalize everything out loud.
Yeah.
Now, without disclosing anything except what you wish to disclose, what would you like to share with me or the group regarding the mental processing and the resolution?
It was extremely strange in the sense that this little guy was so afraid, and he just kept going deeper and deeper and deeper, and he was in my view, and I couldn't see him anymore, and he was really, really scared. And then the big heart came and pulled him up again.
Now, what do you think might have happened if I'd have tried to pressure him to come up?
Oh, I mean, never got him again.
So you notice, when I needed help, who did I call on for help? Another part. The part with heart came to the rescue in more ways than one, actually.
Very, very vivid. Strange but true.
And can you easily imagine yourself now using your peaceful
Oh, yeah.
place trigger?
Yes, indeed. Yeah.
Very good. Well, thank you for making this a very interesting demonstration.
Thank you very much.
Do you have any questions regarding what you just observed? Yes.
Tom, when he was fighting his hand and making him bleed, he said the part of him called Thomas, I think, or Tom, I'm not sure, said that it was comforting pain and he wanted to punish himself. And he was 12 years old. He said something about a teacher. I couldn't get what he said about the teacher. And it seemed like it was something very traumatic that had started off.
Well, there was a teacher who bit her fingers.
Yeah, she bit her fingers.
And what I perceived, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but what I perceived is that up until then you bit your fingernails,
That's
but
right.
not your fingers.
That's right.
And apparently this teacher, and I didn't establish what your relationship was, whether she was a mentor or somebody you were afraid of, but in either event, you started doing what she did, so you were copying her. But I gave the client the choice. I gave Tom the choice of either going back into regression or continuing with the parts approach. And the parts approach was chosen. But had regression have been chosen, I would have explored more about that teacher, and I would have also gone back to look at the core cause, because I would have perceived the incident with the teacher most likely as an activating event. But the core cause probably started at the time of the nail biting rather than the finger biting.
Just wondering, would parts therapy be sufficient to, he's internalized his solution. He's got the solution through parts therapy. But will that be sufficient? I'm just wondering, does
Let you know.
need to go through rehabilitation?
Nothing speaks louder than results. Okay, nothing speaks louder than results, and the best way to answer that question would be to ask Tom in a week or two.
That's fine, sure.
Watch your fingers.
Indeed, indeed. My fingers.
Yes, sir.
Would I be right in saying, by an example of it being a client-centered approach was actually Tom's subconscious saying which one would actually bring the most benefit and in that case we chose the parts therapy. Would that be correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, I would only ask a client to choose the direction if they already had a little bit of understanding of the two directions, in the sense that if I had not discussed parts therapy with a client during the intake interview or during the pre-induction interview on a second or a third session, and had started out doing regression and it appeared as though I needed to do parts therapy, I would resolve the regression therapy as best I could and postpone the parts therapy till the following week. But in this case, we started out with parts therapy and he already knew about regression therapy, so
That was best for his.
when in doubt, I ask the subconscious, because the subconscious is liable to give me a better answer than if I try to pull the answer out of my own mind.
So it picked the one that was best for it, that would give it the best
Right.
results.
I could give you several reasons to justify doing a regression therapy and be perfectly correct in that assessment, just as well as I could give you reasons for continuing in the parts therapy. So my response is, since either approach could work, and I didn't know in this particular case which one would be the most likely to succeed, I asked the client's subconscious to choose. And obviously, you made the right choice.
And that made it client-centered then, actually, then, really.
Definitely, it's a client-centered approach to do it that way. And this is not the first time, by the way, that I've gone through a parts therapy not knowing what the terms of agreement are. Usually I know what the terms of agreement are, but as long as the client knows what the terms of agreement are, it doesn't really matter whether I do or don't know, as long as I confirm that the terms of agreement have been reached and that the release and the relearning have taken place, which I did do in your case. And I take it that the one in hiding who now trusts the part with heart, most likely you're going to enjoy some good resolution.
No doubt.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how confident do you feel about that?
I'm very confident. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm a 10.
Wonderful, wonderful. And I thank you for sharing something very personal with this group. And may God bless you and empower you on your journey.
Thank you.
Great. Well, thank you for volunteering. What additional information do you feel I need to know about this?
I think it might have to do with long-term security, feeling secure. That if I sort of blow my savings and buy a car, that I mightn't feel too secure if I did that.
So there's a part of you that wants to buy a car, and there's a part of you that is concerned about the long-term safety. Okay. Speaking simply from a cognitive point of view, sometimes clients will ask me my advice on whether they should or should not do something. And I generally do my best to avoid giving specific advice, except one piece of advice that I'm always very quick to give. And that's to accept the fact that you have the power of choice. And since you are the one that gets to enjoy the benefits as well as pay the price of the decisions you make, don't ever give that power of choice away to somebody else.
Okay. Some days I have my mind made up one way, totally, and the other days I'm going, no, what was I thinking about yesterday? No, I can't do that. So I shift from day to day, depending on my frame of mind.
Well, it certainly sounds to me like parts therapy is indicated here. What do you all think? Apparently the videographer wants us to move a little closer together here.
I speak a little bit louder.
Okay. And Margaret, do you have a particular induction that you enjoy responding to?
My own, just relax myself. Yeah.
Progressive relaxation?
Yeah.
Sure, easy. That's the one I use probably 2/3 of the time in my private practice. Okay? Is there anything else you feel I should know before we begin?
No, I don't think so.
Do you feel you have fairly good competence in other areas of your life?
Ah, it's a big one. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, acceptable then. All right. Is there anything else you wish to express before we begin? Or are you ready to be hypnotized?
I'm ready to be hypnotized.
Okay. Whenever you're ready to begin, simply close your eyes and take a deep breath. And relax. Just imagine a wonderful sense of relaxation flowing throughout your entire being. And if you wish, you can imagine an ideal, beautiful, peaceful place that is so calm and so peaceful and so relaxing that it becomes easy to imagine a sense of relaxation moving into your toes and your feet. And the more you imagine it, the more real it feels. Just move this imaginary relaxation up through your ankles, into your calves, every nerve and muscle responding to your desire to relax. And the relaxation flows through your knees and your thighs, spreading up into your hips gently, circling your waist, moving up through your back, so gently, so peacefully. And you may notice how your mind can think many times faster than the spoken voice. And that's perfectly okay, because by simply imagining a sense of relaxation, it can become more and more real with each breath you take. And just imagine what it would feel like if soothing, gentle fingers were giving you a very gentle, soothing back massage, shoulder massage. And the relaxation flows down through your arms and elbows, right out your wrists, hands, and fingers. And with every sound you hear and with every breath you take, it becomes easier and easier, releasing, relaxing, and letting go. And as you hear the sound of my voice, it becomes so easy to simply enjoy releasing yourself into a deeper hypnosis, or simply letting go into a total trance as the relaxation spreads to the back of your neck, gently moving through your scalp. Your forehead and temples relax deeper and deeper. Your cheeks and jaw muscles relax. Every nerve, muscle relaxing completely, and it just feels so relaxing. It's easier and easier to go deeper as I count from 10 down to 1. Just drifting down on number 10, going deep into your mind, deep into your imagination, imagining more vividly such beautiful, peaceful sights, sounds, and feelings in your ideal place of peace. Number 9, as you become more deeply aware of the fact that in your imagination you have total power and total freedom to be anywhere you wish and to do anything you choose. So you have the freedom on number 8 to imagine a place that is so serene, so peaceful, and so relaxing that you can go deeper with every number. 7, deeper with every breath, deeper responding to my voice. And on number 6, just releasing, relaxing, letting go, relaxing physically, deeper with each number, deeper with each sound. Number 5, deeper in, relaxing mentally, deeper because you choose. Number 4, even deeper, relaxing emotionally. The deeper you go, the better you feel. And the easier it is to enjoy finding your ideal depth of hypnotic peace. Number 3, just doubling the hypnosis or tripling the trance, relaxing hypnotically, allowing the sound of my voice to become so easy to listen to that you simply enjoy, releasing, relaxing, and letting go. Number 2, much deeper, just imagining a place that is so calm, so tranquil, so peaceful, so safe, and pleasant, and so relaxing that it's easier and easier to go deeper and deeper on one. Way down, just relaxing completely into the soothing tranquility of a very deep inner peace. A very deep inner peace. And it just feels so wonderful finding your ideal level of hypnotic relaxation as you enjoy releasing yourself into the realm of hypnotic sleep, or simply letting go into profound hypnosis. That is, you find your ideal depth. You can simply stay there until I count from 1 to 5. And as you allow yourself to reach your ideal depth level, I'm going to ask your subconscious some questions. And if the answer is yes, please indicate by choosing a finger or thumb that represents the yes response, and move that finger or thumb at this time. Right index finger. Very good. If I ask you a question and the answer is no, please move a different finger or thumb to indicate the negative response. Left index finger. Thank you. And if I ask you a question and the answer is either I don't know or I'm not ready to disclose, choose a different finger or thumb and indicate at this time. Left little finger. Very good. Thank you. And on a scale of 100 down to the number 1. 100 meaning wide awake. Number 1, that being absolutely as deep as you can go into hypnosis without falling asleep. And 50 being about halfway there. Please indicate yes or no if you are 50 or deeper. Very good. And just enjoy being as deep as you wish. And every time I say the words go deeper, you can go deeper until you find your ideal depth level. And just go deeper, Margaret. Feels so good to go so deep. If you are 25 or deeper, so indicate. If you are between 25 and 35, so indicate. If you are between 35 and 45, so indicate. Very good. If this is the ideal level of hypnosis for you, so indicate. Very good. Then every time you hear me say the words go deeper, allow yourself to return to this level of hypnosis, and if this is acceptable to you at all levels of consciousness, so indicate. Thank you. You have mentioned a dilemma, and your conscious mind desires resolution. There is a part of you that wishes to purchase a new car. And there is another part of you that wishes to protect your money. And both of these parts are doing a very important job, because both parts want you to be happy. and we all enjoy being happy. And I'm sure each part is doing what it feels is best for your highest and best good. However, the fact that these two parts have different goals has been causing the conscious Margaret a certain amount of concern. And I would like to give each part the opportunity to express and be heard. Margaret is willing to listen. And first I would like to talk to that part of you that wishes to buy a new car. And if that part of you is willing to communicate, you will be heard. Please indicate your willingness to communicate and enlighten us by either saying the words "I am here" or moving the yes finger. Thank you. If you have a name or a title that you wish me to call you by, so indicate. Margaret? Well, thank you for talking, Margaret. How long have you been wanting a new car?
Six months.
6 months? Can you explain why you would like a new car?
It looks nice. It's more comfortable. Yeah. It might not need any repairs. It will be more reliable.
Well, I can certainly understand and appreciate that. Is there anything else you feel you would like to express?
It will have a safety belt for my daughter in the back. I get a new car. My old car doesn't have one. Doesn't have a safety belt.
I see. So you're concerned about your daughter's safety.
Mm-hmm.
These are very important reasons for wanting a new car. And how do you propose getting one? Is there anything else you wish to express about getting a new car?
No.
Well, thank you for communicating. Are you willing to listen and observe while I call out another part?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. All right, Margaret, go deeper. Way down, just. It realizes the importance of having money and financial security. That part of Margaret that is preventing her from purchasing a new car at this time. And I'm sure that part of you is doing something it believes to be in Margaret's best interest. Would that part of you be willing to come forward and communicate to Margaret and to me? You will be listened to. And if you're willing to communicate, either say the words "I am here" or move the yes finger. Thank you for emerging. What name or title would you like me to call you? Careful?
Yeah.
Well, that's pretty descriptive. Is that what your job is to make sure that Margaret is careful? And would you like to express why you feel the way you feel about her buying a car?
It's my car's okay. There's nothing wrong with my car. It's economical. It's it doesn't cost me anything. And I can do something else with the money that's more beneficial. I can have more freedom, and I just have more freedom if I keep my car.
Well, these certainly sound like sensible concerns to me. However, did you hear what Margaret had to say? How do you respond to Margaret?
She's been a bit she just, I suppose, wanting fun and she wants to be carefree. She can't do that all the time. She can't do that. She has to be careful.
I can appreciate that, but she also expressed a desire to be careful with the safety of her daughter because there's no seatbelt in the back seat. How do you respond to that?
Well, you see, there is a seatbelt in the back seat, but it's like an old baby seat, which Christine's going to outgrow, but that'll do for another while. You don't have to get a new car yet. Like, it'll do for another year, another year, another year.
I see. Is there anything else you would like to say to Margaret?
She could be right. I'm confused now. Yeah, not to be in a hurry, to relax, like it. Just relax and take it easy.
Are you willing to listen while I ask Margaret to respond?
Yeah.
Thank you, Careful. Margaret, did you hear what Careful had to say?
Yeah.
How do you feel about her response of the back seat that has a child's seat that will do for the time being?
Boring. Can't give us a break here. Oh, so careful all the time. Yeah. Boring.
Well, what would you like Careful to do?
Try to just let go. Just let go. Don't be holding you back all the time. Just let go.
If Careful lets go, what are you willing to do for Careful?
I just want to reassure Carol that they don't go mad altogether. I'll just take it easier. You know. I can be careful too. Yeah.
How do you intend to be careful?
Well, maybe not get a big car. Just get a sensible car, not a really nice car, just a kind of a good car, practical car. Yeah.
Okay, well, are you willing to hear Careful's response to what you just said?
Yeah.
Then I'd like you to listen, and I'd like to call on Careful to respond to what Margaret just said.
It's hard to let go. It's really hard. I'd like to.
You would like to let go. What would it take for you to let go? If you let go, what would you like Margaret to do for you?
I feel guilty about getting a car.
Not feel guilty about getting a car?
Refuse me. I might feel guilty.
You might feel guilty, or Margaret might feel guilty?
Careful might feel guilty about getting a car. That's
Well-
another thing, you know.
Would you like to hear Margaret's response to that? Margaret, Careful is concerned that if she lets go, she'll feel guilty for allowing you to get another car. How do you respond to Careful's concern?
She's always like that. always, yeah.
In other words, if you do something Careful doesn't like, then there's the guilt, huh?
Yeah.
Well, what would you like to do with the guilt?
Ooh. I don't know. I'd like to abolish it.
Well, apparently, even though you might ignore the guilt, Careful